Hey everybody, it's Agent Ann, and I'm here to tell you all about the Portland real estate market as of October 2020. You are not going to want to miss hearing about these numbers, so stay tuned. So today is all about the Portland real estate market, and I just can't help but share what we're really going through. I know a lot of you already know what the real estate market's doing. You've heard probably a lot of national press about what the market's doing all over the country, but it really is astounding, as if 2020 couldn't keep throwing us curveballs and surprises. You know, it's the same way over here in real estate. We had no clue this year, once the pandemic hit, how this was going to all shake out in the real estate market. But if you're on the planet Earth right now or living in the US, you definitely have been seeing probably your neighbors selling quickly. Maybe you're even looking at how fast things are going off the market and how little there is on the market. So let's help give you some perspective on this, because I've been doing this for a long time, a couple decades now, and there was only a handful of times I could really say that there was some extraordinarily low inventory that we had in the Portland real estate market. And right now in October of 2020, we're seeing unprecedented levels of low inventory, meaning really few houses on the market for sale. And the ones that do end up hitting in the market are going very quickly. So it's maybe not so much as low inventory, but the demand, the speed at which the demand is sweeping up our market is very high. So to give you some perspective, and again, we don't have October numbers because it's early in October. We only can look back at August and September right now based on our current RMLS stats. As of August, we were down to 1.3 months of inventory, which effectively and theoretically means that if no other homes came on the market at all from this day forward, we would theoretically sell out of homes in 1.3 months. So not very long. We're probably talking about 5 or 6 weeks worth of inventory on the market. And in some cases, in some areas of Portland, it's far less than that. So when you look at the overall perspective and you micro analyze Portland's market in its entirety, it's amazing to see some areas have, a few weeks of inventory, while some are a little bit more swollen than that. So how do we compare this? How do we know what this looks like? Well, this time last year, in August of 2019, non-pandemic year, we were at 2.3 months of inventory. So that's half of the houses that were on the market, half of the houses on the market today is all we have. So we had doubled the home numbers last year. So you're probably thinking, well, gosh, what does that mean for if you're a seller? If you're a seller, it is the trifecta, because that means you have the highest probability of not only selling, but selling for a premium. So are we seeing prices go crazy and astronomical? Well, let's talk a little bit about that. I'm gonna look over here at my computer because there's a couple of cities I wanna talk about. What we really get concerned about in a market where prices are ballooning is double-digit appreciation, okay? And the good news is we don't have substantial double-digit appreciation like we did pre-recession or during the recession, before the recession, which was really tough on our market. You always want to fall within a 4 to 6% appreciation per year. That's a nice, healthy, acceptable level of appreciation that we can absorb into the market without worrying about a major correction. You get into the double digits, you're probably going to see a correction. There is one city in the Portland area that has seen double digits. It's the Lake Oswego Westland market. We're up 10% in property values 1 year from today. So a year ago today, you could have bought a house for 10% less in Lake Oswego Westland, and today it's up 10%. So that's the one city in the Portland metro area that has seen double digits. The next two cities that have seen the biggest growth is the Tigard, Tualatin, Wilsonville marketplaces, which, forgive my look over here, has almost been at 6% year over year. We're at 5.7 in those markets. And then the next best one that's gone up is the Hillsborough, Forest Grove area. So we've seen a huge boom in that marketplace. You might have been out there recently and seen the big growth that's happening at the Reeds Crossing area. Lots of construction happening, lots of demand for housing out in that area, and it's been a long time coming. So all the other marketplaces have done very favorable. They're all right around that 3 to 4% range in appreciation. Every city across the board in Portland has seen a great deal of appreciation. So if you're in any other market than what I've quoted, don't worry, you've done just fine for your property values. So what part of this is something to worry about? I'm getting that a lot lately from people. People are worried there's going to come a crash. There's going to come some reckoning that's going to happen. Like I mentioned, there's a few things that always make me feel like we aren't going to have to worry about that, at least here in the Portland area. Can't speak to other areas. Number one is we've been limited in inventory in Portland for a long time. Well before the pandemic, we were struggling to find inventory for buyers, and it's all across the board of the different types. We have a nice, healthy market in Portland due to the fact that we have an urban growth boundary. We can't just go out and sprawl. We can't just build wherever we want to build. We have years before we can utilize the land that's within the urban growth boundary or the new land that's within the urban growth boundary. So long ago in a land far, far and away, the urban planners were smart about that. But we are seeing a lot of construction. If you're driving anywhere outside of like the Beaverton, Tigard, Hillsborough area, you're probably starting to see the landscape shift fast and dramatically. We're starting to see a lot of construction and big developments going in, and there's more coming. So there's been a huge growth pattern happening in those areas. Those are the booming parts of the Portland area. We have a lot of people moving into that area. They need retail, they need commercial, all the things. So you're going to see more and more of that wherever they can push land out, and there's more growth coming. So we are expanding here in Portland. You've probably seen the traffic patterns over the last few years. That's not going to stop. Luckily, during the pandemic, those have kind of calmed down a little bit, but traffic is probably going to continue. During the pandemic, a lot of people asked me, are people moving out of Portland because of everything they're seeing that's going on here? And I will tell you there's a yes and no to that. Number one is we're getting a huge influx of California buyers. In fact, just this week, our team has experienced about 3 to 4 different buyers that are coming into town. One's in town now, another one's coming next week. They're all coming from California, they want to get out of the fires, they want to get out of the cities. Their goal is to get something affordable because it's not as affordable down there. So we're seeing a big influx of Californians coming in. And so no, we haven't seen people exiting we've seen people exiting from California. We are seeing a lot of transition out of Oregon for people that are looking for affordable housing or to retire. We're not keeping a lot of our retirees because fixed costs here are very hard to navigate with the increase in prices. So a lot of people are exiting for retirement reasons. More people are coming into Portland, though, to offset that are looking for a different quality of life and lifestyle. So anyway, that is a kind of a small sneak peek of what we're experiencing right now. We are really low on inventory for senior housing and one level. So if you know of anybody who's thinking about selling who has a one level or a master on the main, please let me know. We've got waiting buyers right now. We have waiting buyers for a lot of different inventory. If you're interested at all into if your property meets any of their qualifications, let us know. And if you're at all thinking about making a move or strategizing on how this all works in this climate, do not hesitate to reach out. It's no obligation. We do it all the time. We talk to people every single week who are like, yeah, we're thinking about making a move or we're thinking about selling and buying. So we want to be the resource for you. So what in the world can we do to help you guys in the coming months as you guys also try to navigate your goals and plans? So I appreciate you listening. If you've gotten this far, if you have any questions whatsoever specifically about the real estate market, please reach out. We're here to help.